going on with y'all? What's going on with y'all? J Myrex, Altruwest.com. How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing out there? Hopefully everybody's blessed out there. Hope y'all having a good time enjoying yourself on this Thursday, February 13th, right before Valentine's Day. Where's everybody at out here? Let me know where y'all at. Let me know where y'all at. Yeah. What's going on with you? Cold Heat Studio, salute. 730 Productions, LLC, greetings. Mike Fresh Beats, what's good? Gird Up International Ministries, one of my true sound creators, what's good with you, fam? Bless up, man. Yes, sir. Dropping them fire drum pads there. Yes, sir. 730. I'm gonna get to that question in a little bit, fam. Appreciate you. We're gonna table that for a second. My moderator, Upbeat Media, should be in the house, and they will remind me about that one. We're gonna get back to that one. Let's see here. That one beats. What up, fam? G-Ball, one of my true sound creators. What's good, fam? Thank you for stopping by. Josh So says, well, my 8-year-old just came in, and Dad, can I watch YouTube to the beat? That's what's up, man. Appreciate the love, man. Much respect to your seed out there too, man. Appreciate y'all for enjoying yourself with your boy for a little bit. Roll, what's good with you, man? Cheers. Yes, sir. Louisiana in the house. Connecticut is in the house. New York, Long Island is in the house. Dallas is in the house. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rufus Jackson from Rochester, NY. Yes, sir. Layden Productions, blessings, fam. DJ Track 77, salute. Blessings to you as well in Germany, man. Guten Tag, or I think this might be Guten Nacht for you. Yes, sir. Everyday Peso, we getting spicy take today. Appreciate Gird Up International Ministries. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, fam. Josh Soul, yes, sir. ATX, yep, yes, sir. Mike Fresh from Atlanta, yes, sir. Els the engineer, what's good with you, bro? Dallas, Texas in the house, yes, sir, man. A lot of folks from Dallas, Texas out here, yes, sir. Man, Oakland is in the house. Bay Area, yes, sir, yes, sir. Man, okay, F sample clearance for you. Says, okay, let's discuss last time I was on the sidelines watching. I don't know what you mean by that, but we're gonna chop it up today, man. Man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. It's always a blessing to chop it up with the folks here, man. Listen, we getting it in today. Y'all see the title. You see what the biz is today. You know, we're gonna chop it up, and we got the fan base. We got the fan base room open for those that want to join the discussion on the live stream. So we're gonna be talking there as well. So if you don't already have fan base, make sure you get fan base so you can be a part of the audio chat, because that's where we really have the real discussions, mano a mano, and have the producer community really come aboard of this platform and get really detailed with the information. It's one thing to chat in the chat room on YouTube, but it's a big difference when you come on stage and really get to articulate yourself fully. So I welcome that. My moderator, Upbeat Media, will be placing a link in the chat so that you have the link to join the fan base room. So make sure if you want to join the discussion, come on in. It's all good. Yeah. This stream, we do have a super chat goal. We're trying to hit 15 super chats. I think we can do it. We got an hour to do it. We're trying to hit that. If we get to the goal, I'm gonna extend this session for another 30 minutes. The plan is to go an hour today, but if we hit the super chat goal, then we will extend this and like I said, this is about having a safe space for the music producer community. This is not a safe space for any age of music producers, and we're gonna get into that later today. This is not just a safe space for the old heads. So don't look at it like that. This is a space for music producers and music production conversation. That's the whole goal here, is to create the safe space so that we can discuss music production. So if you're into music production, I don't care what age you are, this is the place for you. But yeah, if y'all enjoy the platform, if y'all enjoy the time we're spending here, and you, yes, sir, we got the building fund, man. No, we just got the time fund, fam. We gonna do this regardless. We gonna do this regardless, but we definitely gotta keep people accountable in the community, man, because I know how it can be. Like, free information is typically not valued in the end. So we're gonna do this hour, and if y'all want to go longer and take more time, then I'm with it. We just got to make it make sense. But yes, sir, we definitely got to make it so that people understand what we bring in here. This is something special. This is I know it's a lot of people on YouTube doing this for various reasons. I've been here for a very long time. We definitely add value, but I'm just not any old YouTuber here, man. We've been a part of this music tech game for over 20 years. I've been providing insights directly from the industry over the past 20 years. So if you look on my YouTube, like from day one, I was talking about doing sound design for Yamaha keyboards and whatnot. We've been doing this for a long time. So this ain't just a regular producer channel. This is a channel that is adding a different insight. So I want y'all to make sure and just be accountable for that. But just don't take it for granted. This is something that we do because we love it. We're gonna do it regardless, but gotta make sense. So yes, sir. So the news today. Some of y'all saw it. Some of y'all don't know. So I'm gonna just talk about it a little bit. We ain't gonna spend too much time on it, to be honest, man. It's not that big of a deal. If we're being honest about it, it's not that big of a deal. We're gonna spend a little bit of time on it. But for some of y'all that don't know, Akai shared a post on IG today that had some news, and they said, following the highly anticipated launch of MPC 3 and Akai Professional's groundbreaking partnership with Native Instruments, we're excited to share key development updates that mark a significant step forward for the MPC platform. As we continue to push innovation, here's what's ahead. Then they go on to say MPC 3 OS for standalone will receive highly requested updates in spring, including flexible time signatures, wireless expansion transfer, and enhanced MIDI recording and playback addressing user-reported challenges with external gear and additional new features that will further elevate the MPC 3 OS experience. MPC 3 desktop software will enter public beta in May, giving users an early look at its powerful new capabilities. MPC OS 3.4.2 firmware update will be released later this month, delivering important fixes, optimizations to enhance standalone performance. Force users can look forward to a major update entering private beta this month, integrating MPC features into the platform, one of the most highly requested enhancements from the community. We appreciate the ongoing support and feedback from our dedicated community and look forward to sharing even more exciting updates soon. Everyday Peso, appreciate the super chat, fam. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Been watching since Machine 1.6 days. Your videos provided me a lot of value. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man. That's a long time ago, man. That's a real supporter, man. I appreciate you. Cold Heat Studios, appreciate the super chat, fam. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So that's the updates from Akai. What are my thoughts on it? Well, I think, to be honest, I think it's great that they are providing a little bit more assurance on their direction, and I think that it is good that they plan to continue to support the community with the features that are being requested. And I can tell you just from my experience working in music tech, working previously at Native Instruments for the past 15 years, I've definitely been on the other side of that, knowing what it looks like to offer some sort of reassurance that you're going to continue to update something and not deliver. And, I wasn't on the machine team. I was mainly part of sound design, and um, then sounds.com, and then became product manager for machine expansions and play series. But I see what it looks like when the product managers from the software side or the hardware side need to come to the community and address things that have been overlooked. And I know what that feels like to say it and not deliver it, but I also know what it looks like to the user when you buy something and then it doesn't work, and you're hoping that the software or hardware developers fix it and they don't fix it. So my hope is that Akai has learned from the mistakes at Native Instruments, and that they will continue to honor the expectation of the user base. And I think they have done a good job so far. Not perfect, but I think they have done a good job. I think, an example is like their response about the Force. I think the Force has kind of been overlooked for a while. They've kind of prioritized the MPC, and rightfully so. The MPC is their dominant platform. The Force probably has a much smaller audience. Um, but yeah, I think they've ignored the Force for some time, and people were a bit frustrated with that. So I'm glad that they are finally addressing the Force as well. I think that's a good look. So let's hope that they come through and deliver the goods. I did find it interesting that some of the issues that we have with the 3.0 are related to external MIDI gear. So for those of you that don't know, I recently, and recently is like months ago now, but I recently got an MPC X for the purpose of having a separate hardware sequencer as a redundancy measure so that I can sequence hardware external MIDI in standalone mode. So I got the MPC X. You see it behind me. Um, I, I I already had some reviews or like some thoughts on 3.0. I'm sure a lot of you in the community have seen it. Some of you wanted to get into very spirited debates about it, and others wanted to accuse me of being drunk or other things. My opinion is my opinion, and the way I work is very specific to how I work. So that's just my opinion. But I found it very interesting that the 3.0 does have some issues with external MIDI gear, which is like the main reason that I bought the MPC X in the first place, was to have a sequencer for external MIDI gear. Yeah, so there's that, right? I don't anticipate that I'm going to be spending a lot of time with 3.0. I've already told you guys why, but just to reiterate, I think just 3.0 is a little bit too much of a DAW. It's too much of a DAW approach. So that's not really why I want to use an MPC. I love the DAW that I use. The main DAW that I use is Logic Pro. I love that. It's a great DAW. I'm not afraid to use DAWs. Not afraid to use software. I use software all the time. Some of you heard the beat that I played at the beginning of the stream. That's a machine software beat. That was not a hardware beat, machine software beat. So I have no problem with software. no problem with DAWs. I just don't use a standalone hardware to have it function like a DAW. I wanted to use the standalone hardware to have a standalone take and have the simplicity of the approach that comes with standalone. So it's not for me. And I just admit that it's just not for me. It doesn't mean it can't be up for you. It doesn't mean it can't be for you. That what works for me don't have to work for you and vice versa, right? Like we are all individuals, we're all humans, we all have our own unique experiences and our own preferences in the end. So just because something don't work for me doesn't mean I'm saying you shouldn't use it. This sucks. This like relax. It's not that serious, not that deep. I know why I want to use an MPC. The question is, why do you want to use an MPC? One thing you may notice if you've been watching my stream for a couple weeks now is that MPC X is back there. Why is that? Where was it before? It was right here. It was like right down here, but now it's back there. This position is kind of like that's the B slot for me. This the A slot down here. Yeah, for me the X has been demoted back to the B slot. Still valuable, still a place where I can work on it and do some things and stand alone. It's still very much not connected to the computer, but it has moved out of the A slot. Why? So for some of you guys, I told you already, I had some problems with the MPC 4000. I was very transparent about that. That was one of the other reasons I bought the X, was because, like I said, I wanted redundancy, and I wanted to have the ability to have something else to use just in case my 4000 went down. And sure enough, the 4000 ran into a problem. I had a pad sensor issue. So I had to repair that. So recently just did the repairs. I actually did the repair yesterday, replaced the pad sensor in my 4000, and it's back up and running. So, after basically a couple months of not using the 4000 and messing with the X and getting familiar with it and listening to it, and of course doing the comparisons and all that stuff, man, yeah, I missed the 4000. The 4000, like I said, the 4000 just got a different sound, y'all. I'm sorry, that's just for me. Like I said, for my preference, like once I put that 4000 back in there and start working on a beat, it was like, yo, okay, now we are talking. This is what I was missing. So yeah, the X got demoted. Like I said, I'm not fully like, oh, just get it out of here, it's trash. But yeah, I did. Yeah, G-Ball, I did the repair myself. It's not a hard repair, actually. Quite simple repair. So yeah, I think, most of the time was just like, hey, just documenting what screws you took out and from where and all that kind of stuff. But the repair is very straightforward on the 4000. It's just like, a floppy sensor that you got to take out the original one, clean it up or whatever, clean up the area, stick the new sensor on, pop it into the slot, the data slot, and then, yeah, test it, make sure everything's functioning before you close everything back up. But said, dude, that would have been content. Well, guess what? I did record it. Now I didn't talk through it, but I did record it. So I may have to go ahead and narrate it and edit it. I did record though. It's not, I don't think it's a great recording. Like, I think I had to prioritize actually just getting it done in the end. So it's not a amazing recording, but you do see me go through the process, and yeah, maybe I could narrate that and turn that into a video for you guys to check out. But yeah, it's repaired. It's back in action. I got it. And once I got it repaired, you got to test it. You gotta test it. So yeah, I started making beats on it again. And it was like, yeah, buddy, here we go. Here we go. Just a totally the feel, the workflow, all of that stuff is so different. It's just so different. And it's for me, it just works. Get it, Nard. What's going on with you, fam? Appreciate you for the support. Thank you for the super chat, man. It says after watching your S3000 video, I went and copped a Z4 to run my MPC one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes, that is the power. That is the power that I'm talking about. That's what we do on the True Sound Creators, man. Like he's referring to a video, like a live stream basically that I did in my True Sound Creators membership where we showed the difference between just running the outs directly from the MPC-X versus running the outs of the MPC-X through the converters on the S3000 and then from the S3000 into the interface. It was much different. It was much different. So if you want to check that video out, become a member of our True Sound Creators, man. That's the kind of stuff we doing in here, man. Everything is not going to go directly on this channel without a paywall. I just, that's not how we get down here, man. We gonna share, but like some of the stuff, you got to be serious about it. And I think my entry point to spectate some of the special stuff is not high. So if you want to check it out, become a member, man. I'm gonna get to these questions, man. Y'all heard what I'm about, man. I'm not listen, we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. Oscar slap, man. Man. Appreciate the love there, man. That's hilarious. But no, you know, we're on YouTube, fam. It is what it is on the thumbnail. We know this is YouTube. So if you came here for a hate session or some tirade from some dude that's just angry and you know, old or whatever, that's not what this is about. It's just YouTube. Jay Troy says, I see the SE in the back. What I miss. I just talked about it, man. Jay Troy, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I just was saying that the X kind of got demoted to the B position after I just got finished doing my repairs on my 4000. So 4000 is back in action. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get to this chat, man. I'm gonna get to the chat. Let me start with the earliest question here. 730 Productions had a question about what's my take on people producing on iPads. So, man, listen, my take on iPads, I was an early supporter of iPads, like from the beginning. Some of you don't know, I worked on the iMachine product for iOS. I was one of the main developers for the content, but I worked directly with the product developers and product designers on that. I could tell you, well, I don't know if I can tell you, but I definitely know what iMachine would have been before we had some deep conversations about it and how they were proposing it functioned. And it was very interesting with some of the ideas and thoughts they had. But, you know, with the help of myself and others, we steered it in a direction that was a bit better for music production in the end. And I think iMachine set a new standard for what a groove box paradigm could look like on iPad. So I've been part of the iOS iPad wave really since the beginning. I'm a big proponent of using iPads. I think iPads are criminally slept on. And I believe that more of you guys should look into that and consider how you could use an iPad in your setup as well. I think especially since many of you are happy with the MPC3, it's like there's no reason that you should eliminate the iPad as an option, because the iPad very much will function like an MPC3 OS would. So I think it's a amazing tool. Um, I think there's no, there's no reason not to try it at least, especially the price point. There's so many great applications, and the key with the iPad also is like there are certain applications that exist on iPad only or iOS only that would give you access to new sounds that your desktop doesn't have access to. So I think there's an advantage there. So that's just my thoughts, man. Like iPad is highly supported on this channel. You can check my channel. You can check my archives. There's plenty of iPad beat making stuff here. Like we've definitely explored that, and it gets the seal of approval from me. Roll said, "Do you sell sample kits?" Not yet, not yet. We discussing that. Obviously, after doing sample kits for the past 15 plus years, or actually longer than that, but yeah, for native, we did it for about 15 years. Um, it's a consideration. I think that we'll have to really weigh it out and see what the right call is for that. Because I think for me, my perspective is that a lot of you guys don't need more samples, but I could be wrong. And if you do it, what I would do it different. I wouldn't do what I was doing at Native Instruments here. If I start doing new sample kits, I would have a slightly different angle and different value proposition. So more to come on that one, but no, I'm not selling sample kits right now. Um, I do have other things for sale though. If you want to check out, some years back I wrote a music production ebook called "The Sound Mind," and it has previously been in the archives, not on sale on my website, but we recently relaunched that. It's out of the archives. If you're interested, it is on my website. It covers a lot of interesting topics such as professional sound design and how to get started as a sound designer. But we also talk about things that are more specific to just music production and different techniques and tools that we use in music production, and necessary things that you will need to advance your career, and the different options that exist for music producers in the field of professional music. So Sound Mind ebook is now available on the website again, and true sound creators, look out! I got a special offer for you guys coming up. We got some things in store, but yeah. Um, let's see here. Damage says too many YouTube cats like this. What you mean by that, fam? You mean let's see. Oh, I see what you're talking about. You're talking about people actually considering what they do a business. That's what you mean by that. So no, there's not a lot of YouTube cats like me. Um, honestly, um, where I come from, it's okay to consider yourself a business. It's okay to conduct yourself as a professional. Because let's be honest, you guys come to YouTube for self-centered reasons. Let's be honest about it. You guys don't want to see other people make beats most of the time. And a lot of times I find that a lot of people don't even come to YouTube to just get the practical knowledge. We offer it, but a lot of people come to have the discussion. But Damage, you've been here not too long. I've not seen your name that long, but I can tell you that we've been on here for a long time, and we've had a lot of valuable information provided on this channel for absolutely no cost. And we will continue to do so. But if this is not the conversation for you, my moderator will make sure that you can't see this channel again. It's just straight like that. So anyhow, going back to the comments here. Going back to the comments here. Boo says, "Hey yo, looking for a cheap, reliable MPC Mini. Got any recommendations?" I don't understand what you mean by that. You're looking for a reliable MPC Mini. What do you mean by that exactly? Are you talking about just a MPC one, or what do you mean by that? Reliable. I don't understand how you're phrasing it. You're looking for a cheap, reliable MPC Mini. Maybe rephrase that question, and I can try to give you a different answer. Dazzle Direct said, "Do you mess with Touch OSC?" I was for a bit. I was messing with Touch OSC as a way to control things like Ableton and whatnot. Let me see here. Am I frozen for you guys? Can you guys, are you guys seeing me okay? Because the YouTube preview has gone frozen here. Maybe I have to, let me see something. If I'm frozen, can you let me know in the chat? Let me know in the chat. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to follow the YouTube preview. Sometimes it just crashes and does weird stuff. Yeah, it looks like it has crashed on me now. So I will just follow OBS. Appreciate y'all. I can see y'all on OBS still. Cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, that it just crashed on me. That's all it is to it. Listen, Damage, if you want to go see somebody make beats, yeah, listen, there's DBIC is streaming right now. He's live right now. He's making beats. So you want to go watch that? There is that. And shout out to the homie DBIC. That's a real one. But yeah, if you want to chop it up and talk, man, that's what we doing. We talking, man. This is a community, man. There's so many different channels you can look at depending on what you're trying to get into. So, why make it an issue with one channel is doing when there's so many different channels you can mess with? This one channel, I appreciate the support and the love, man. Tadrick Jermaine says, "You really made it though, Jay, when you got trolling." No, you absolutely right, man. That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Once you really start getting under people's skin, they were like, yo, okay. And, this has been positive for the most part, man. We haven't been doing any crap talk here. So he just came to cause trouble. I'm gonna go to Fanbase, man. Maxime, I see or Maximus, I see your hand raised. I'm going to bring you on stage to chop it up, man. Appreciate you for coming through the Fanbase. Maximus.
Yes, sir. What's up, bro?
What's good, fam? How you doing?
Everything's good. Everything's blessed.
Yes, sir.
Everything blessed. Hey, I got a technical question for you, man. I've been thinking about for probably about a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And you can just say either yes or you probably can say yes or no because you know more technical stuff than I would as far as on the computer.
Okay.
Like directly from the computer side. Are the operating systems of this day when they run the audio in the actual DAW, are they running at 32-bit float? Like, are they?
I can't say that that's unilaterally the case. I mean, I think it depends on the application. Or what application are you talking about specifically?
Logic.
Logic. I don't know about 11. I know there was an issue for a while where it was only a couple of the DAWs that were like truly 32-bit.
Okay.
Let me get back to you on that one. Because
technically, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I will. Because technically, Logic is promoting itself as a 32-bit float application. But I think we need to do a little bit more validation of that in the end. So, but I think as of Yeah, it definitely in 11, it's purporting itself to be 32-bit float still. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, but I'll circle back to that. That's gonna take a little bit more homework to validate.
Hey man, it's all good. I appreciate it.
Nah, good question. Good question for sure. Um, Terrence, I saw you raised your hand, man. You want to come up on stage too, or you good? If you want to come on stage, raise your hand. Otherwise, there you go. There you go. Terrence was good.
Good
Oh.
afternoon, sir and madam. How are you guys doing?
Oh man, blessed man. Can't complain. How are you?
It's been a good day. I mean, it's raining in California. We only get like 60 days of rain a year, and we're getting all of it right now.
Trust me, I know that for sure.
But I wanted to chime in a little bit on the desktop thing because you know me, man, with the new MPC stuff. I've been
Okay, are you
desktop
Terrence? Hold,
champion
Terrence.
not because
Terrence, can you hear me?
I have an issue. I don't have an issue. Can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got a little like you're going in and out. I think
Hello.
are you outside? Are you kind of on the road right now?
I'm outside. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stay still. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, your reception is bad, so it's cutting in and out.
All right. I'm gonna make it real quick because I thought about that too because like I'm right by the school and like the reception ain't that great over here.
Got you.
So my thing with the desktop, I was looking forward. I'm looking forward to 3.0 only because of the compatibility between my 1000 and the 5000 and being able to move data back and forth between 2.15. All that's been great for me.
Right.
And because I'm a logic guy
Mm-hmm.
on the DAW side of things, there's no logic on the PC side of things, and I've been having a lot of issues with my Windows machine when it comes to DAWs, with the exception of MPC 2.15.
Got you.
MPC for my Windows machine and my Mac.
Got you.
So it ends up being the thing that might be the cross platform scenario for me. So 3.0, as much as, like you said, when you go to your MPC, you're not going to it for it to be a DAW. And when
No.
I use it in standalone, again, one of the newer machines for standalone use, I'm not looking for it to use it in that manner.
Okay.
That's why I know that routing because that's what a DAW is for.
Yep.
But
Yep.
but being able to use a reliable system that works on both sides,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that
Okay.
for that purpose. Um, it's kind of why I'm also looking at Cubase because again, I don't really want to go drop $3,000 just to get another MacBook Pro right now.
Right.
You know,
Makes sense.
have
Terrence, unfortunately, fam, you're Terrence, you're in the matrix. Like the
this
agents is
don't
whooping
matter.
you right now, Terrence. The agents in the matrix is killing you right now, bro. They don't want you to be heard. So appreciate you
all,
coming up, man. But yeah,
all good, man. Feel free to pass on to somebody else,
it's
man.
all good, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Yes, sir, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Yeah, sometimes the matrix is not loving us, and the agents come after us. So they definitely was on Terrence's head, and yeah, man. I'm not saying I'm not Neo, by the way. I may be Morpheus, but I'm not Neo. um Tyrone Sellers, man, I appreciate you on the super chat, fam. Appreciate you, man. Much respect, man. Much love. Yeah, we are on Fanbase though. If anybody else want to come up on Fanbase and chop it up, Tadrick, I see you, man. I'm about to bring you up on stage now, fam. Tadrick, what's good with you, fam?
Jay, how you doing, man?
I'm blessed, man.
Hey, quick question, and I might have missed it because I had asked on YouTube, but I had stepped away for a second. Two questions, kind of. So hooking up like another interface because I got the MPC Live too. Hooking up another interface with like 6 or 8 outs or whatever it is. Would that would that be better than using the MPC converters or outputs? What are your thoughts? Because I mean, it's USB.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just wondering.
No, good question. It really depends on the interface and the converters on the
Right.
interface, right? They're not all the same. If you have a higher end class compliant audio interface, it could potentially be a better look than what you have on the live. I think one of the big reasons to do it is the fact that you just get more audio outputs and inputs for that matter. The live, that was one of the reasons why the live wasn't an option for me, because it didn't have the right IO. So of course you can connect the audio interface to it. For me personally, I didn't want to do that, because then it's kind of like, well, I now have to have a secondary audio interface and then feed that to another
Yeah.
audio interface. That was kind of like a non-starter for me. But I think generally, if that's what you got, there's no problem with that. I would say make sure you choose well on the class compliant audio interfaces. One of the manufacturers I've been looking at is Audient. I haven't used Audient a lot, but Audient seems to have pretty decent quality. I'm not as convinced with the Tascam stuff. I know some people like it. I'm not as convinced with the Tascam mixers, but it really depends on which class compliant audio interface. But generally speaking, if you can get more outputs, it's probably going to be better in the end than having only 4 outputs, right? So I think that's a good one. Dazzle Direct has another one. I haven't validated this one, but he said RME. Of course, RME has great converters. You just need to validate that they have a class compliant interface that will work. Yeah, he also mentioned Audient. That was the one that was the first
Yeah.
one that comes to mind for me. Audient is the one I would look at. They have a few different options now, so yeah, it depends, man. But just do your homework on like the different audio interfaces, because I would say don't just get like a cheap one and say, yeah, I got a cheap one hooked up or whatever. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm not a I'm not a Focusrite hater. I think Focusrite made a lot of great products over the years. I think they've also just catered to like the entry level market. So just be
Yeah.
careful with getting like the entry level Focusrite stuff and kind of thinking, yeah, that's good enough, and that's gonna be better converters, because you might be in the same ball game if you just use like a Focusrite versus the converters on the MPC Live.
Yeah, my same thoughts too. Because I got two of the audio interfaces, like a 2 out and a 4 out or
Hmm.
whatever. And I mean, they're just extra. I just keep in my backpack.
Hmm.
But yeah, I tried that before. But like you said, having to hook up another audio interface, then there's more additional routing setup you got to go through. Me personally, I just go straight out 2 outs and then just record direct in. I don't do a drag and drop anymore. I just record direct in
Hmm.
through my Apollo interface.
Nice.
Cause yeah, it's just like you said, it's too much to go through all that. I've tried it before, but yeah, I was like, I'm not about to do this every time I need to track out something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the second question too, because I don't have the NPCX, but I think somebody had put in the chat, and I don't know if it's true. They could have been trolling. They said something about, I guess, 3.0 or whatever it is now. You can route audio out of different outputs, or I don't know. I didn't think that was true because I've been able to just easily route out of the NPC. Just like, yeah, they said that you had to create separate programs to route your audio out. With me, I just go through like a particular, if I want the kick drum from A01 to go through output 8,
Hmm.
I just go into the mixer and just do it like that. But they said like, now that you can do that now with 3.0, that didn't make sense. So
Okay.
I figured they was trolling.
Yeah, maybe I don't purport myself to be the 3.0 expert by any means. Um, so I
But yeah,
think,
you can still route
yeah,
your outs through your MPCX. Like you don't have to create separate programs though, do you?
not that I recall. I don't think that that's true. I
Yeah.
think of course they've gone track based, but yeah, I don't think that you have to create separate programs for outs. I think that's a very specific workflow he's talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, it's track based now. Okay, I get it now. But
Mhm.
yeah, I like you said, I like to just you can go through each separate pad and route with each one separately.
That part, yeah,
So yeah, I just want
that part I'm not 100% sure on. I think, yeah, let me do some homework on the one, 'cause if I put 3 on, it's gonna go on my one first. But Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. Like I said, I'm not the 3.0 expert at all. We've just been talking about it, but I don't have it on any of my systems because I've been very
Yeah.
slow to update my stuff. I don't want to tank any of my things before it's time to.
Right.
But now that I got the 4K back, I'm more willing. I'm more willing to do a little bit more testing here. So.
So when you're tracking out, because I saw your video,
Mhm.
do you even bother to? Because I saw like how EA Ski does it. He does this 8 separate outs,
Mhm.
but I think I was watching your video. Do you just go out of your 1, 2 channels and just track each one at a time, or
It
how's your workflow?
It depends. So I think in the example that I showed in the membership, basically we were specifically going through the um outputs of the S3000. And the only way I could really make that work was to go stereo. I
Right.
probably could have done it a little bit differently because my S3000 does have 8 outputs as well, and it does have also 8 at out, but we wanted to kind of get the converters from the S3000 to impact the sound. So I just decided to go stereo to keep it all consistent. Normally when I'm using the MPC though, I'm using the 8 outs. So like I just tracked out a beat last night from the MPC 4000. That was all individual outs. Like that's normally how I work.
Gotcha. And so you don't do it one at a time. Normally, you just run the whole
Yeah,
track 8 outs, and that's it.
exactly. Because I mean,
Okay.
that's what the outs are there for, right? It's like it gives you the ability to process things individually, but also gives you the opportunity to just like have that quick workflow of tracking out.
Yeah.
So that's definitely how I work normally. So my setup, like I have the Apollo Silverface quad processor Apollo, and I have a Antelope MP8D 8 channel preamp connected via ADAT to the Apollo. So that gives me basically 16 individual analog inputs now. So all my synths and my 8 outs from my MPC are connected to that. And that allows me to basically track everything out at the same time.
Gotcha. Okay. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. This how we getting down, man. We got the fan base room as well, man. So, anybody else that want to come up on stage, y'all are welcome to do so, man. I'm gonna get back to the chat on YouTube though. Um, B-Ball says any royalties or commission on the sample libraries you created for NI, or maybe there were sales targets that impacted the bonus structure. Now you're in my pockets. You're in my pockets, my boy. um, I'm gonna kind of talk about that at a high level. I'm not gonna get too deep into the business there. Um, I will say there are no royalties um when you work at a company like that for the most part. The IP is owned by them. Um, there was an amazing discussion also. I don't know. Some of you may have seen it. Some of you didn't. On I think DJ Payne One had TB from Producer Grind, and he was talking about his experience with Producer Grind, and he was doing a lot of their content and sample kits and whatnot. It's a very interesting story, um, but it reminded me of something that very commonly happens in the music tech space with creators, especially, is that there's a lot of non-royalty based, exclusive, non-compete transactions that happen with these people that work and make content. It's great for the company. It keeps them very lean as far as like their payout structures and whatnot. But I think in terms of long-term relationships with the talent, it can be problematic. And yeah, TB really laid out like some of the problems and challenges at Producer Grind and how he was not getting royalties at first he was getting a royalty, and then, or not a royalty, but he had a split, and then they said, "Oh, we're gonna switch you to something like," it was like 1,400 a month or something like that. I forgot what the payout was, but he was doing that plus the content, and it was just like, this is just not a good way to retain talent in the end. So no, I don't have royalties attached to any of that content. So there's no bonus structure associated with it. And yeah, I am no longer there. Man, Yak Diesel, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you on the super chat, man. Much respect, much love. We're gonna keep it going, man, for sure. DJ Loops Beats, what's good with you, fam? Thank you for the super chat, man. He said, good conversation on the channel. I see why EXK recommended checking it out. Man, I appreciate you, fam, for sure. I'm gonna get back to a couple more questions in the chat. Let me see here. Tyrone Sellers says, I have the Focusrite 8 Pre 18 I-20 Claret Plus. Is that okay to do what he's talking about? Sure, you can do it with that. You can definitely do it with that. There's other interfaces, obviously, but yeah, you can use that one. I'm gonna go to the Fanbase chat. Maximus, you already came up, so I'm gonna get Andre up first before we get back to you, fam. Hope you don't mind. Oh, this Cold Heat. Yeah, I'm gonna follow you first, Cold Heat, and then welcome, my bro. Okay, did you accept? I invite you again. Okay, you got it. There you go. Cold Heat. What's good with you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Just feeding my son real quick. I just wanted to come up real quick to in response to your last live chatter, because he was
Yes.
talking about my question. I wasn't trolling it. It was just how you were correct. It is a workflow thing, and how I was using my MPCX.
Yeah.
Because before, what I would have to do, I would use like the drum programs, and I would just use some of the patterns that are in there. And because I would want to like route my the different sounds through the outs, I was having to create multiple programs in order to put each sound on its own output.
Got you. I got
So
you.
what I was saying is, what I like about 3.0 now is I can be in the same drum program, and then when I explode the track, I can just immediately go into the volume thing, hit the IO, and route each sound to its own output.
Okay. Yep. Makes sense. Completely makes sense.
So yeah, I just wanted them to know I wasn't trolling or anything. But yeah, you're correct. That's just how I was working before, and 3.0 made it a little easier now for me to do that.
Okay. No, I get it. No, thank you so much for coming up and clearing that up, man. That's why this audio chat is so important, man. Just to be able to articulate that nuance, man. That's super important. Appreciate that.
No problem. Have a good one, brother.
You too, brother. All right, Maximus, I'm gonna bring you up, man. We got about 5 more minutes left on this stream, unless we hit this goal, man. But yeah, appreciate the conversation. Maximus, what's good, fam? Let's keep it a little brief because we only got a couple more minutes.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, rapid fire. All right. Basically, have you heard the volume output of the 61 versus the MPC X or the MPC SE? Like the actual output volume.
Okay.
Period.
So yeah, no, that's a good question. I don't have a MPC 60, but what I can tell you, when we did this test in
MPC 61 keys.
Oh, you talking about the keys? Thank you.
The keys.
Keys.
Yes, the keys.
I haven't used the keys. I know people. I've heard people mention this. I've not used the keys in my studio, so I can't really speak to that. But I've heard that. Just don't know that that's true.
Okay.
What I can tell you. Go ahead.
Keep going.
No, what I was going to say.
I was just going to say.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say real quick. The 61 seems to be louder than most of the other ones.
Interesting.
But I haven't used the X.
Interesting.
But.
Okay. No, that's good information. That's something definitely to validate. I got to get my hands on a 61 to see if we can validate that for sure. What I was gonna say though was we did some other tests and some of the modes, like the 60 mode and that kind of thing. That's why I thought you were talking about the 60. The 60 mode, interestingly enough, does something interesting to the volume of the output. So when you start using these vintage modes, especially, you have to be careful because they're basically pushing the volume up by 2 decibels when you go into the 60 mode. So
Okay.
it tends to sound better to some people because louder is better in a lot of cases for people's ears immediately. So I thought you were talking
Mhm.
about that the 60, but you clarified it, so I
No, I'm
appreciate
talking
it.
about this the 61's
The
output
keys,
and not the input, not the input interface on it, but the actual just the output
yeah,
volume going out, the 61 versus the live.
got
But
you,
I'll
got
let
you.
you look into it
Yes,
and then you
sir.
can get back.
Yes, sir.
I
Appreciate
appreciate
that.
it
Yes, sir. Yes,
for
sir.
sure.
Um, yeah, man. Nah, that's what it's all about, man. I appreciate y'all coming up on stage and contributing, man. This is awesome, man. Let me see if I can get to a couple more comments in here, man. We got about 3 minutes left before we close out. Um, I think we could hit the goal, but I think, regardless, it's always a blessing to be on this platform and have these conversations with you. T-Bone says, facts, the MPC Key 61 is louder compared to the X and live. Interesting. Interesting. G-Ball said, whatever happened to Boris and I. Lots of transition over there at NI, man. Yeah, he's one of many people that are no longer at NI, from what I know. So unfortunate, but Boris was amazing. I used to work with Boris a lot. Great guy to work with. He helped me out on some expansion products as well, and was always a cool person to chop it up with about machines. So yeah, he's not there anymore. Let's see here. DJ Rush says, is there a way to convert MPC XPM to PGM for use on the XL? Maximus, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the super chat, man. Much love, man. Much appreciated, fam. Yeah, man. We getting close to the end on this one, man. But I appreciate you, man. Um, let's see. Yeah, Boris was good. Boris was a good dude. Um, let's see here. Going back to the MPC conversion thing, I don't think so. I think there's nothing that I've seen that has the ability to push the backwards compatibility. I think that would be great, but I see a lot of problems with that. I think the data types and some of the data structure wouldn't be compatible ultimately. So I don't see a good way for that to happen. Maybe somebody can figure it out, but yeah, I think just the data structure alone would prevent them from going backwards like that. Let's see here. Yeah, Tadrick said usually when you create something on the job owns it. Absolutely, that's very, very typical. So, um, I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. Like at the end of the day, I signed my contract. Question is, if I knew what I know now, would I sign the same contract? Um, Not sure that I would, to be honest. Just being 100%. I think, what I can say is I definitely came on board to do a certain thing and it turned into something else. And it's kind of difficult to back out or renegotiate. Plus, I was young. The difference between youth and wisdom it's kind of it's a small distance. It's a small period of time. And I considered myself to be pretty on top of things, wise, but there were some things I just couldn't anticipate, and some of the stuff that I look back at, I said, man, yeah, definitely could have done that differently. There were definitely things that I kind of recognized off the bat that I was like, it's probably not a good idea for me to do this. So I stopped doing it. One of those things being content. Because if you remember at the early stages of Machine, I was doing some content for them, like, F major does this, and I was doing all that kind of stuff, and I started to see like, man, you didn't that this is a different job, and if you keep doing it, then who wins in the end? Um, so yeah, you can make decisions like those, but I think because of the sound design stuff, there's certain things I wouldn't do it ever again. Like, I don't think I would ever sign a non-compete again, personally. Anyhow, Bolo, what's good with you, fam? Appreciate you for stopping by, man. Hopefully you caught wind of the stream because of the thumbnail. No, we just playing YouTube. This wasn't a session to down Akai or anything like that. This was just a conversation, and we just doing a YouTube thing. So anyhow, I think we're gonna call it here, fam. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with your boy. I appreciate y'all for having a conversation. Much respect to those that came up on Fanbase and provided their input as well and asked questions. Again, this is your platform as well. This is your platform as well. So I think just I think keeping it accountable, keeping everybody accountable. We can do longer streams, but I think you got to show that you want it in the end as well. Longer stream, I think it has to be valuable for you guys, and it has to be valuable for me too. And one of the reasons that I didn't do a lot of like videos over the years was realistically because I know that there's a lot of content out there and there's a lot of distractions, and I'm not here to be a part of the distraction, but if you show me that this is what you really want, we'll keep going. And I will try to not make it a distraction, but I want you to walk away with having some value. I want every session for you to be able to say that you learned something new that you didn't know before, and that you can walk away with that and use that in your own production and your own life. Because this is a platform that I want to provide value through sharing experiences, thoughts, opinions, and, really also allowing people from the community to also provide their thoughts. So I appreciate y'all, man. We're going to keep this going. We're coming back on Tuesday at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Central Time. I almost said Pacific Time. But that's just the West Coast in me. No, 4 p.m. Central Time. We're coming back on Tuesday. We're gonna keep chopping it up, man. I might do some more stuff over the weekend. True Sound Creators, stand by. True Sound Creators, if you're interested in becoming a True Sound Creator, which is my membership where we do some exclusive streams, and I got exclusive over 40 hours of music production content now. Become a member. We're doing some great things in there as well. That's where we kind of go into a little bit of a deeper dive on certain topics, and we're going to keep doing some more things here. I just dropped a new piece of content with Chris Moss from Divided Souls, and he's also provided the True Sound Creators with a special discount on their Amplify product, which is a drum sound design tool. So True Sound Creators, there's a lot of perks coming. I also got the interview with EA Ski on the docket, so that's coming up. We gonna get that up there within the next week or so. So we're gonna keep it pushing, man. But I appreciate y'all. It's definitely been real. If you got some value out of this, hit the like button. And yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. Until next time, I want to tell y'all peace and God bless.